Okay, here's the job site for our AC job. And here's all the components. There's the indoor unit, the hose kit, outdoor heat pump. Those are line covers. There's a pad for it to sit on. And most of our tools here. Alright, so this is a mini split system. So ductless mini split heat pump is what it is. So it's both the air conditioner and a heater. We're going to install this today. Alright, so step one, cut power to the circuit. Let's see. Let's look at number 5. Window AC. Okay. Looks like that's already tripped. Yeah, that's why we're replacing it. On, off. 7 and 8 are both off. 7 is, I think, is unused. 8 is family room outlet under the AC. That one's also tripped because they were using that outlet also for the window, the old window air unit. So I want to put that back on just to give that outlet power. But number 5 is the one we're going to be working with. Oh, while we're waiting to get inside the unit, might as well see where we can put the pad. I chose this location right here. We put that pad right down there after we level the land a little, and then set the outdoor unit right on top of it. Okay, that's level, and that's where its permanent home is gonna be. Wanted to line up the right edge with the edge of the cement here, just to make it look nice, and also give it plenty of space between the back of the unit and the house. There's a spec for that. Forget what it is. I think it has to be 12 inches at least if you're mounting it to the ground. I noticed when I set this outdoor unit down on the pad, it was leaning forward. Took it off the pad, put it on the cement, it's still leaning forward. And this here gap doesn't look right. Down here, got some shipping damage, so that leg right there is bent. That one would be okay. Shipping damage repair solution. More shipping damage, but looks like it's just cosmetic. Okay, took a couple more tools, but I think that did the job. Looks good, and well, it's not sitting perfect, but we have some rubber pads that's going to go on and then bolt down onto the pad. Should be fine. Okay, now that's what I like to see. Call that its final resting place. Good. Okay, so we're inside the unit. This is the outlet that we turned off. Let's make sure it is off. That's not good. Why is that still on? Okay. Let's go back to the breaker box. Well, first, let's see if this one is off. That's the one we turned off. Okay. So that was just labeled wrong. Good thing we checked. Be right back. Okay, here we are. So number 5, window AC outlet, and number 8, family room outlet under AC. These should be swapped. So I'll take care of that later. We're going to turn this outlet back on because we're not working on it. 7 and 8 is what we're going to turn off. So 30 amp, 2 pole. So this has to be rewired because right now it's wired for 120 and we have to wire it for 240. So we have to open the panel here and turn off the main I gotta talk to my tenant about that and then rewire it if possible. Okay, so breaker number 8 is wired for 120, just number 8. So we got single wire here, hot wire. Oops. And then in the harness here, the loom, the white wire is going to neutral. Okay, so that's correct for 120. What we have to do is take this neutral out, and we're going to use it here on the second pole as another hot. All right, so we'll have 240 volts going to our AC, and it is grounded. There is a copper, bare copper ground in the loom there as well, so we'll be good. Okay, there's where our 120 outlet was. That one, toss that, bye-bye. Here's our wire diagram. So it shows it's a terminal block, line 1, line 2. No neutral. Okay, that's all we need. So, we need to make this go outside. So, we drill. Okay, there's the outside. Problem is, these wires might be too short. I didn't bring any with me, so I might have to go and get some length of 10 gauge wire, which would be nice because I could tie it up inside this box and have the correct colors coming outside as well, red and black. So I'll see if I can push these through, and if they connect, then great. If not, I'll go get some wire. All right, so the wires are too short. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Here's our disconnect box. So what we're gonna do, here's our whipcord. I'm gonna snip off 6 inches or so wire from here and tie it up inside the box, inside the house, or inside the wall there. Have it come out, comes through a knockout here, and then right into these two for the line. And then our load, the AC, will tie right onto here. Okay. Okay, that's it for the wiring of this part inside. Just need to get a blank plate, put over that. Later on, that'll be fine. Let's see how it looks on the outside. All right, so here's our extension wires. They're gonna come through here. We'll mount this, 3 screws, and then these will mount red, black, and then green to the ground lug here. So we'll come back when that's all mounted up. Okay, I got the wall anchors in place. I'm gonna put some sealant back behind here. Before it bolts on, that way it'll be nice and weather tight. Right there. Don't have to worry about any water getting in. Yeah, that looks good. line, the red one. Let's install the black one. All the little wires in there. Nice and tight. Nice and tight. Nice and tight. Alright. There we are. So 2 lines, ground lug. So these aren't touching metal down here. They're not touching each other. Alright, that's how we want it to look. Okay, here's our final electrical connections. So we have the whip cord here coming up into the side of the box. We knocked out a 1/2-inch plug. It comes inside and ties in here and here for the hot, and then over here for the ground. Okay, so we got none of the hot wires touching the box. The grounds are touching the box a little bit on the bottom. That's fine because they're ground. So that part right there, we can call that done for now. And then this is the actual disconnect switch. When it's in this position, it's off there because it's not making any electrical contact. But when you take it and turn it upside down, it will make electrical contact, and that's when it'll be on. So right now we'll leave it in the off position like that. Just keep it open. Whip cord comes down. It's a 6-foot cord, and we just tied it into the unit here. So we have line 1, line 2, ground. Alright, so don't know if this showed up in the last video. That's our disconnect box finished. Our whip cord coming down to our AC unit. There's line 1, line 2, ground, and then here tells us 208 to 230 volts is our power input, single phase, 3-wire power, line 1, line 2, ground. Yay. Okay, so that's looking real good. Camera overheated a few minutes ago, so I just went ahead inside and started setting up the indoor unit. That's the indoor unit. It's gonna mount on the wall about right up there. There's the old AC will come out someday. And here's our template to guide us where to mount it. Alright, so I marked up on the wall where I want the unit to go. I want the right edge to be here, and I want the top to be here, 12 inches from the ceiling, and I want the left to be here at this mark. But it all depends on where the studs are in between. So I have to use a stud finder right now, find the studs, and then see how far to the left or right of that ideal placement we're going to be. And also taking into consideration how far that is from this wall and the AC unit outside, because I have only 16 feet of length of AC hose. So I have to measure that as well, and take into consideration how the lines on the unit here unfold, because they will unfold. They're going to unpack out, and then they're going to swing over here. I have to open this up, and they're going to come out right through here. So this is the bottom right side of the unit. They're going to come here and go that way towards the outside wall, and make a little bend, and then go through the wall to a 3-inch hole we're going to drill above this AC unit. Okay, so that's looks like about where it's gonna be. Only lined up with one stud on the left-hand side, so we'll have 2 screws into studs, and then 1 in the center in drywall, and 2 on the right in drywall with drywall anchors. But I'm not going to mount up the metal mounting plate yet because I still have to unpack these lines. But before I can fold these lines down and out through this cutout, I have to install the wiring which goes through here. So that hole is going to be covered with these hoses once I pull them down. So I'm going to do this wiring next. So here's the hose kit. There's the hoses there. There's a drain hose for the water. And it also comes with this wire kit for the evaporator unit. So this end has pins to clamp onto. The other end has ring terminals type. That'll go to the outside. So this is going to go right back through here. And they're going to feed up to the front of the unit. Up here somehow. I think I need 2 hands on it. Yeah, they're going where they're not supposed to. Now there's something promising. Oh, okay. So, see a green and a white. Got him. Okay. So this is the front of the unit, as I'll cover. Popped open for access. These wires go here on the 1, 2, 3 and ground. So we're going to do it red, white, black. 1, 2, 3. Red, white, black. Green for ground. And the same thing outside. So there's the wiring connections. Red, white, black, ground, and it's got this strain relief cinched down over the cable sheathing as well. Keep it from being pulled out accidentally. Okay, we'll cover that up. Put the second cover and close the main cover. And then work on the lines in the back. Okay, so that's the unit hanging on the wall. Line's not connected yet. So all I gotta do is draw an imaginary line over there and measure where I'm gonna drill that 3-inch hole in the wall. I kind of marked one edge of it here. That's the outer edge to the far right. So the circle will be something like that. I get it at the right height, so it's not higher than the drain line. It has to be even with or a little bit lower than the drain line. So I'll get that marked out, drill that hole at a slight downward angle. Go from there. Okay, got that hole drilled. I didn't drill a 3-inch hole. This is about 2-inch, maybe 2.5. Because there were studs in the way, 2 of them. I decided to drill through them. Why? Because there's 2, and I just drilled halfway through each one. And so I figured it's okay. And the house is still standing. Besides that, there's a window here and an AC unit. The window behind this curtain for sure will have king studs on each side of the window for support. Possibly even the wall AC unit. That might even be one of them that I drilled through. So I'm not worried about it. I think there's plenty of support on this wall. Next comes lines. Now, I started to remove this, and this is what I heard. Hear that? That's not refrigerant. It's most likely nitrogen. they filled the evap unit with. So that's normal. I'll attach the lines, the drain, and wrap everything with tape and feed it through the wall, through that hole over there. Okay, that's the indoor unit. AC line's connected but not tightened yet. Drain line is in and it's on the bottom where it's supposed to be. You want that on the bottom coming out the unit. Stay on the bottom all the way out, preferably not squished. And then this line right here, this is the control cables. So that one I just barely managed to squeeze through this hole. In fact, it wouldn't push in. I had to tape it to the end of a real long drill bit and then push the drill bit through because it was nice and firm. But it made it just fine. Next is to tighten these two connections, and I'm going to lunch. I'm hungry, I'm tired, and I'm hot. Inside it's 98. Just blowing hot air around. Outside it's, I don't know, 102, 103. Time for lunch. Okay, lunch break over. We gotta make it quick because I gotta get home to a back to school night. So we're establishing outside connections. There's AC lines, electrical, and drain tube. Drain tube ends right there. So that's done. These lines are a little bit long, that's fine. Electrical, we already put it in here. Red, white, black, green for ground. So we're gonna take these caps off here, the low side and high side. Take those off, bend this line around in a circle or semicircle, whatever, and install those connections onto there and start evacuating. Okay, so it's, what is that? Why is there smoke coming out of there? It's just oil. This thing's full of oil in there. Evacuate the system. It pulls out any mixture of air and condensables, mixes with the oil, and kind of steams out there. So we're evacuating the lines and the evap unit, not this unit, because this unit is full of refrigerant. We just haven't let it out yet. We didn't release it into the lines yet. So we're pulling everything else in the system into a vacuum. We got 26 inches of mercury. Perfect vacuum is 30 inches. I don't have a perfect connection right here, so I'm probably losing some right there. Kind of cross-threaded on there, different kind of threads. Air conditioning is weird, you know. There's all different sizes and thread pitches, and if you're just right on the size or wrong on the thread pitch, then you gotta buy another adapter. So we're gonna try to get as close as 30 as we can, make sure it holds for a reasonable period, let the refrigerant loose, and turn the system on. Alright, system is complete. Not totally done, but ready to run. Okay, let's turn it on. Turn the breaker on, and the disconnect is powered on. Let's get the remote, put the batteries in it, power on, seat mode, cool, mode heat, fan, auto. We'll put it on cool and set it to 72. Oop, 72. Okay. I don't know if I brought my thermometer with me, but let's see. Does that feel cool to you? Feels cool to me. Not 72 yet. Let's get there. back to school night. See you tomorrow. Well, not a good sign. It was reading 72 inside on the readout. Like that's the temp it wants to get. It came out here and this unit was not turned on. Check the connections just by hand. Kind of wiggle things around. Nothing. I smacked it and it started working. Just like that. This fan came on, the compressor, I guess, turned on. Not a good sign. Well, see how it does tonight. See ya tomorrow. Okay, there it is. Finished product. And got all the lines covered up today. Inside and out. So that one, when I take off this wall unit, I'll put that flush against the wall. Later, it's standing out about ½ inch from it, but it's okay. All the lines they're taped and they're wrapped in this PVC tubing. Keep everything protected. So, put some ducting tape here and up here as well, where they didn't give me a little strain relief gauge there, strain relief for this cable. Anyway, runs good. It gets nice and cold. 24,000 BTU unit. And this is about 758 square foot home. And they said it got so cold last night they had to turn it off. So it's good feedback. So I guess all it needed was a kickstart yesterday to get it going, and it's running, and the heater works on it as well. I tried that out this morning, and yeah, it works real good. Okay, job done.